What does your typical day at work look like? You can just answer that. Anyone can answer.
I was 13 in a pile of leaves.
That's how he writes. A pile of leaves and coffee. And someone has to make out with him or he can't write anything. We generally, the writers come in about 9:30, most of them. And I have a morning meeting in my office about 9:45, 10 o'clock. We talk for about 20 minutes. These guys pitch out ideas they have, or I do, or whatever, and we kind of bat them around. And then we have a bigger meeting, 10:30, 10:45, depending on the day, with more of the production staff. So we have like our footage people there and our researchers, and Steven is almost always there.
We call him Steven.
We call, yeah, and we look him in the eye and everything. And we sort of pitch out the best of the first meeting ideas in the second meeting, and Steven often has plenty more to add to them and picks what he wants to launch. Generally, we write in pairs, so people will be sent off to write whatever is sort of chosen from the morning or whatever needs to be done for that day, for coming days. That first round of assignments is due in about 1 o'clock. Somewhere in there, the table of contents gets thrown together, which is that's the thing Steven does at the beginning of the show, where he says tonight, then, right. Plus. And then there's a certain amount of Nerf darts that get shot around, some skateboarding. Afternoon assignments, which is usually for coming days, but a couple people in the afternoon are available for punching up that night's show. We have rehearsal about 5:30, tapings about 7.
And every day there's two writers that are assigned to write guest questions for that night's guest.
That's right.
That sort of write during the table of contents time, like they split off and write individually, and then, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And whoever those two people are will go have a briefing with Steven where they go over the questions and sort of discuss Steven's attitude toward the guest. And
then the show airs at 11:30 p.m. at night, and then re-airs the next day at 10:30 a.m., 2:30 p.m.
It's on
8. Actually, I don't actually know the times.
Everybody agrees.
Full day.
That sounds pretty right.
Everyone agrees?
Well, that's our head writer.
Yeah, very like the part out where he yells at us and whips us for not writing.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
And then the longer segments that you do, that's done also just during the weekday, or
longer, like
the shots that are shot outside of the
the field pieces. Yeah. Those are writers will work on those and come up with ideas with Steven. And there will be briefings with those, and it'll usually go through a couple of rounds to prepare for them, like the Better Know a District segments or whatever. And then Steven will go off with a couple people from our field department who also generate ideas, and they'll go down to Washington. They try to do a couple at a time, and then those usually take a couple weeks to get edited, because they just come back with hundreds of hours of footage.
Right. What's the atmosphere like at the office? It seems pretty
really
solemn.
Sexist.
Shut up and give me a water. Jesus.
Ironically sexist against men.
Yes.
We're terrified.
She really makes it horrible for us.
I think it's great. It's one of the best I've ever worked on. A lot of
would think it's great.
Yeah.
The good news is that we're very free to, like, when Barry leaves, or we're free to talk about him, which is really nice. So you vent a lot, so you don't feel, oppressed.
It's also nice that you work with a different person typically on every assignment, so you never have the chance to hate someone's tics or personality thing.
Yeah.
You're always working with someone new.
And overall, it's a very collaborative setup. It's not so competitive. It's like there's 3 people writing jokes on the same thing, and someone's going to win and someone's going to lose. We're all working on this stuff together, and you can't be. And Opus wins.
Yeah, usually.
And you can't be that competitive because usually we rewrite each other's scripts anyway. So there's no point in and having that edge, you know, trying to beat somebody.
Well, have
Peter
you,
and I share an office, and there are times when, in the afternoon, we're each secretly rewriting what the other one wrote in the morning.